Exploring the ancient foundations, seeking for the old path. Join Rabbi Marlon Hurley as he seeks to raise up the foundations of many generations by repairing the breach and restoring the old paths to dwell in, unraveling truths that have been reserved for this end-time generation. This is Torah for Life.
Register now for an exciting experience at the Israel Institute for Torah Studies, a 3-year discipleship program designed to deepen your understanding of the Hebraic roots of the scriptures and strengthen your relationship with Yahweh. This program is offered through correspondence so that you can pursue it anywhere you are and can be started at any time, while affording you the privilege of working at your own pace or speed. For more information about the Israel Institute for Torah Studies and how you can register, please contact us at the address following this insert. To register in Israel's Institute for Torah Studies or to get a copy of this or any other of our teaching presentations, you can call us at 1-876-363-4034 or 1-876-472-6675, or you can send us your email at torahforlife1@gmail.com. That's TORAH, the numeral 4, LIFE, the numeral 1@gmail.com, or you can visit us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Torah for Life, or check out our website at www.torahforlifetv.com, where you can watch tons of videos. Right now, let's join the service that is already in progress. Shalom, welcome to episode 2 of a special teaching presentation that I'm doing that is entitled Yahweh's New Life Plan. We looked at a number of issues in episode 1, but in episode 2 is really where I want to begin to look at the core of the things that you need to learn. Alright, so let's go right ahead. Now, we must be synchronized with the Creator timepiece, and that is where we ended in part 1. So that's where I want to begin in episode 2. We must be synchronized with the Creator's timepiece. Since we have to be synchronized with the Creator's timepiece to maximize the benefits of His new life plan, it is of utter importance that we know and know for a certainty when the new year begins scripturally. Our present Babylonian reckoning says that the new year begins in January, which is winter, which is when the earth is still experiencing death. See, friends, the earth goes through 4 seasons. It begins with life in spring and it ends with death in winter, and then the cycle begins. And that is the reason why Yahweh says that when the earth is beginning to experience life, we must be synchronized with the earth to experience life as well. And so the question is, how is a scriptural new year determined? How do we know when it is a new year scripturally? I mean, most of us know when it is a new year by following the Gregorian calendar or by following the pagan calendar that we follow. But how do we know when the new year begins scripturally? And my friends, it is so simple that even a kindergarten kid could know for themselves. Now, the scriptural new year is determined when the first sliver of the new moon is sighted after the barley is avived in the land of Israel. Let me say it again. The scriptural new year is determined when the first sliver of the new moon is sighted after the barley is avived in the land of Israel. Now let me explain. The word aviv there is an ancient Hebraic term which means the ripening of the barley. And so the Creator says that the earth is not only determined by changes in the atmosphere, but it is also determined by what is happening in the land. The truth of the matter is that a new moon is determined by the sighting of a new month is determined by the sighting of the new moon. Whenever you look in the sky and you see that that sighting of the moon that looks like a little piece of your fingernail when it is cut off, that is the beginning of a new month. However, because all new moons look the same, it is not possible to use only the sighting of the moon to determine when the new year begins. There has to be another factor. And so the scripture says in Deuteronomy 16 verse 1, observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto Yahweh thy Elohim, for in the month of Abib Yahweh thy Elohim brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt. And this was in the time of spring, and so the word Abib or Aviv means ripening of the barley. And so the barley, the earth, the state of the earth, or the state of the barley, was and is crucial in determining when the new year begins. You see, because the barley that is connected to the earth is an indication of biologically, chemically, what is happening in the earth. And so what is happening in the earth reflects in the plants that are connected to it. And so the barley is crucial. The barley is crucial in understanding what is happening in the earth. And there's a teaching that we do that is entitled When is Yahweh's Passover? And if you do get a copy of that, if you do go on YouTube and search, that will help you to understand more about Yahweh's calendar. I'm not going to go into the details of that now, but if you do need more information, you can email, call me or write me, or you can ask for a teaching presentation that we do that is entitled When is Yahweh's Passover? So now we have established how to determine the scriptural new year. Let's go. I want to show you now how this is important. And before I do that, I will have to clear up some more stuff, or I will have to give you some more vital information in the next slides that I'm going to go through. So I'm going to shift a little bit to provide you with some vital information, and then I'm going to tie up what I just shared with you here with the rest of information after I finish presenting it. All right, so let's go. So your health is your responsibility, and that's why the first thing that I want you to know. Your health is your responsibility. Most of you know more about your car than you do your bodies. And let me say that I was one of those persons. I knew more about software, more about computers, more about agriculture. And if you know me personally, I spend time reading and studying so many different facets of life, because personally I have a serious hatred for ignorance. So I'm always reading, always researching, always studying, whether it be electronics or science or physics or chemistry or different spheres of life. But friends, in 2012, I was diagnosed with kidney stones. And believe me, I have never felt such excruciating pain in my life. It suddenly dawned on me that I did not know what was happening inside my body. And I was very uncomfortable with that. And so, like you, I knew more about so many aspects of life than I knew about my body. I was very, very, very irresponsible as it related to my health. Most of you know more about your computer, your house, your accounts than you do your bodies. Your reason, like mine, was that if I get sick, I'll just go and see a doctor. It's my doctor's job to know about my health. After all, isn't that what he or she is trained for? Isn't that what we pay them for? And so, my friends, I was irresponsible in that I laid the responsibility of my health at the feet of my doctor. And that is mistake number one. That is the greatest mistake that you can ever make. A lot of you are listening and are thinking, and I mean the pharmaceutical industry does a lot to misinform us and to try to get us to believe that knowing about our health is so technical that we cannot assimilate or we cannot acquire the tools to do so. Hence, we are compelled to leave that responsibility at the feet of our doctor. And the reason for that is so that they can exploit us. My friend, there is no bigger business in the world than the business of sickness. The opium industry, the illegal drug trade is a kindergarten compared to the regulated pharmaceutical drug trade. Sickness is the biggest business in the world. And so one of the first responsibility that you must take is to begin to know about your body. And as I said, a lot of you come to this teaching presentation, a lot of you that are listening to this teaching presentation thought that I would begin immediately by telling you how you can overcome your sickness or you can overcome your pain. Friends, I cannot start by doing that. Some of you might not even reach this far in this teaching presentation because you have become bored because of what I've been sharing with you. And so your sickness will continue into perpetuality. My friends, one of the first things that you need to do is to begin to get information, learn about your body, take responsibility of your health. And for those of you who believe that your doctors can never be wrong, that whatever your doctor says came straight from out of the heaven, you are in for a rude awakening. I want to share with you some stuff that is going to shock you. Now, my purpose here is not to undermine the purpose of medically trained doctors. No, that is not my purpose. Because believe me, they are very important and they are very important to helping us. No, that's not my reason. My reason is to shift the responsibility that most of us have laid at the feet of physicians. My goal is to shift that into our hands so that we can take responsibility, so that we can understand what is happening. And believe me, so many persons have already reaped the benefits of this teaching presentation. So many persons are saying that I have not even started attempting what you have shared, but already I know spiritually, because it gels in my spirit, it resonates in my spirit, that this is what Yahweh intends for me to do. And so there has been a certain amount of brainwashing. And some of the brainwashing methods are methods of suppression and control. Now, sometimes people speak of herbalism, also known as herbology, as alternative medicine. And this is part of the brainwashing. The implication, or the rational implication, is that conventional medicine, as practiced in the Western world, is the standard, and that anything else is an alternative. But most herbalists see it another way, and I'm one of those. Herbs have been used, or herbs have been around for millennia. The World Health Organization estimates that healing herbs are currently the primary medicines for 2/3 of the world's population, or some whopping 4 billion people. Most of the tools currently used by modern medicine, including most of the drugs that we have in use today, have only been around for a few decades or less. Now, you tell me which is alternative. Is it the herbal approach or the conventional approach? Because, I mean, the herbal approach has been around for a millennia, and persons are seeing the benefits. It is practiced in 2/3 of the world's population. And I mean, modern medicine has only been around for a few decades, yet they are trying to teach, or they are trying to implicate, that the medicine that has been around for a millennia is what should be considered to be alternative medicine. I mean, this is a part of the brainwashing that is going around. And so this is what I want to share with you. that healthcare is not an exact science. Let me say that again. Healthcare is not an exact science. And friends, as I said to you before, that I'm not trying to knock healthcare professionals. I'm just trying to put things into perspective here, so that you, the person who should be responsible about your health, has information from both sides so that you can make informed decision. Now, it has been estimated by medical authorities that 80% of all medical diagnoses are wrong. Now, let that simmer in for a moment. Let me repeat it. It has been estimated by medical authorities that 80% of all medical diagnoses are wrong. Now, this is not coming from me. This is not coming from persons who practice alternative or holistic health care. This is coming from the persons who regulate, who manage what is called conventional medicines. They are admitting that 80% of all medical diagnoses are wrong. No, and this is where I say I cannot underestimate or try to knock doctors. Because if medical doctors with all their training and experience are only correct 20% of the time in their medical diagnosis, imagine the accuracy rate of a lay or untrained person. And that is the reason why it is not wise for untrained persons. It is not only wise, but it is not legal for untrained persons to try to diagnose diseases and sickness. It is up to medically trained doctors. However, doctors are trained to prescribe for symptoms, not to deal with cures. And that is why there are so many side effects. That is the reason why there are so many side effects. Doctors are trained to prescribe for symptoms. And so that's the reason why they ask you so many questions, because they're trying to diagnose based on the symptoms that you present to them. And so, my friend, it is not a very accurate science. Yahweh's will, though, is to heal us with plants. And another thing is that most doctors employ a one-size-fit-all approach. All right, so they employ a one-size-fit-all approach. Not bearing in mind that everybody is unique, that based on our history, based on our gene, based on our orientation, that we are all different. So a one-size-fits-all health plan program could not be a wise program. And so that is the reason why I want to share with you the A, B, C, and D approach that is designed to just overall your health. The question is, why do most doctors prefer to prescribe drugs rather than herbs? That question has to be answered by giving you some critical information. What is the difference between a drug and a herb? See, that is what you need to understand. What is different between a drug and a herb? Why do doctors, or most doctors, prefer to prescribe drugs rather than herbs? And what I'm about to share here is also going to explain why there are so much side effects, and why there are so many persons who, even though they may consult or even though they may have their regular doctors, are looking or are turning to alternative health care in droves. Are you ready? All right, let's go. The best answer is that an herb is a plant or plant part used in its entirety. Let me say that again. An herb is a plant or a plant part used in its entirety, while a drug is a synthesized copy of one chemical component, such as a component found in a herb. And so that's the major difference between a drug and a herb. A drug is a synthesized or extracted component of a herb. Herbalists prefer using the whole herb and believe that the reason herbs have fewer side effects is because of a balance of naturally occurring ingredients. In other words, when the Creator made plants, He made them in such a way that even though there are useful ingredients, or even though there are ingredients that may be toxic, when you ingest that plant, there are other ingredients in the plant itself that help to create a balance so that the toxic ingredients, one toxic ingredient does not harm the body. In other words, Yahweh in his wisdom proportion the ingredients in a plant so that it does not have any side effects on the body. However, doctors or pharmaceuticals who synthesize or who extract one component because the other components are lacking, you may experience side effects. Now, Yahweh is just so powerful. Another reason is because pharmaceutical companies like to isolate chemicals so that they can produce a pure product in order to acquire a patent and reap large profits. In other words, pharmaceuticals cannot patent a plant. However, they can patent a component that they extract. See, that's where the big bucks are. Whole herbs can't be patented, so there is little profit potential for the drug companies. That's one of the major reasons why doctors do not recommend plants, or that is one of the reasons why most doctors do not recommend plants. They recommend drugs because that's where the money is. The pharmaceutical industries are set up to put money in the doctor's pocket. Yahweh's plan is for healthcare to be so economical that you can go in your backyard and get what you need from the pharmacy that is grown in your yard. And so healthcare was designed to be free. All you need to know, or all you need to have, is the knowledge. All right? And so let me guide you into what is called the system approach. And remember, I said to you that it is not wise. Not only is it wise, but it is not legal. It is illegal, it is unethical for lay persons to try to diagnose. And so I want to share with you the system approach, which is an approach that even a lay person can employ. All right? Now, this is where the systems approach comes in. It gives the lay person a powerful framework within which they can safely and ethically work to improve their health and help others do the same. With the systems approach, we do not diagnose or prescribe. Let me say that again. We do not diagnose or prescribe. We do not play medical doctors. We simply make use of or recommend food supplements designed to nutritionally support the body's weakest system. And I'm going to elaborate on that some more. Alright? So all we do is simply make use of or recommend food supplements designed to nutritionally support the body's weakest systems. What is the systems approach? The systems approach involves two simple steps. One, an evaluation is made to determine your weakest body systems, and two, nutritional supplements are chosen to support those systems. These two steps are then repeated at some point in the future to determine if changes have occurred and if modifications to the supplementation program are indicated. Now, you know that there are a number of systems in our bodies. There is the lymphatic system, there is a circulatory system, there is the nervous system, there is the digestion system. And so there are a number of major systems that are in our bodies. And sickness is the result of one of these systems or more than one of these systems being weak. Now, our approach is to determine the weakest system in the body and to supply supplements directly to it so that it can be improved or it can be strengthened. Because bearing in mind that the base concept that we work with in the systems approach is that the body was designed to heal itself. Alright, so let me go a little further. So your health is as simple as A, B, C, and D. The system approach is actually a part of the A, B, C plus D approach to designing a personalized nutritional support program. Instead of the one-size-fits-all approach that the modern medicine applies, the ABC plus D approach is a specific plan to help you, my friend, develop a personalized nutritional program that will allow you to get the most benefit from what nutritional science has to offer. And so here we go. A means to activate. So A stands for activate. The human body has a remarkable inherent capability of self-repair, providing it has sufficient energy and raw materials. However, after years of stress or neglect, or from eating too many devitalized processed foods, the body's self-repair mechanism becomes sluggish. Certain energy supplements can help wake up the body's energy systems, stimulating its healing ability. These supplements include homeopathic formulations, the essential oils used in aromatherapy, and especially the enzymes. And so the body is designed to heal itself. All we need to do is to activate those tools that are in the body, and the body will begin to heal and repair itself. And so central to that is a great way to begin energizing the body is with plant enzymes. Every chemical reaction, my friend, in your body requires enzymes. From the digestion of food to the release of energy for cell metabolism. Many enzymes are contained in raw plant foods, but cooking and processing destroys them. And so a diet that consists mostly of cooked and processed foods will be deficient. That is why we refer to such food as devitalized. Eating foods deficient in enzymes places additional stress on the body's enzyme production system, depleting it of vital resources that are needed elsewhere. We should therefore make an effort to eat some raw plants every day. The foods that are highest in enzymes are live, freshly sprouted seeds such as alfalfa or broccoli sprouts. And so, friend, the body needs raw enzymes. So the body needs enzymes from raw foods to help it to produce to effect the repairs that it needs. And so imagine, some of you are sitting, when last have you eaten raw vegetables? No, bearing in mind that you just learned that you need to eat it every single day, because these enzymes come from micronutrients that your body does not store. So even if you ate it yesterday, you can't use what you ate yesterday to supply the needs for today. And when you think of it, that there are persons who have gone months without eating any raw vegetables, without getting the necessary enzymes that they need. The result is the 112 elements that we need in order to maintain balance, in order to be synchronized with the earth, are lacking, are absent. The result is that the body does not have the tools to repair itself. And you are going to learn as we go down further how that further contributes to affecting us in other areas of our life, or other areas of your life. So we looked at A. And then there is B. B means to build. So B stands for build. Now, proactive enzymes provide the life energy necessary for body repair. But in order for that energy to be most effective, the necessary raw materials must be available. It is not possible to get all the nutrition we need for optimal health from the foods. Note that word, optimal health, because that's what we want, optimal health. So it is not possible to get all the nutrition we need for optimal health from the foods that we eat without nutritional supplementation. While it is possible today to get enough nutrition from our foods to prevent vitamin deficiency diseases, which was what the recommended daily allowances were based on, this falls woefully short of what nutritional science has discovered to be necessary for optimal health. Now, if you take any label and look at it, it is now mandated by law that manufacturers must place a nutrition table on it. Now, so if you take any label and look on it, you will see a recommended daily allowance. Now, I was of the impression that as long as I was getting the recommended daily allowance, that I would be great. Not knowing that it was not based, that recommended daily allowance was not based on what I need or what we need for optimal health, but it was designed to prevent vitamin deficiency disease. And so that is the reason why we are still malnourished. We need nutritional supplement. And so we have to take nutritional supplement. That is the reason why we need nutritional supplement. You know, at one point I remember somebody who was a part of a health program was telling me that I need to take nutritional supplements and that I need to take them 3 times per day. I remember the person saying that our bodies does not store it, and especially when we take these vitamins, when you go to the restroom and pass your urine, when you look at the urine and see how beautiful it looks, how bright green it is because of the excess nutrients that our bodies don't need, that we are passing out. And I was saying, I mean, that's like a waste of money. Why would I need to take supplements 3 times a day to see it beautifully being displayed in my toilet bowl? But my friend, I did not understand. I did not understand that that I really need to take the nutritional elements. So even though the body rejects what it doesn't want, I still cannot live or meet today's needs based on what I took the day before. And so this just totally, radically changed the way I perceived my health and nutritional supplements. And so these are, it is information like these, my friends, that makes a difference. It is information like these that has caused me to change my lifestyle. And that is the reason why I want to empower you with these information. I want to give you these information before I go into what you really want to hear in order to be changed, in order to experience the health that you want, in order to stop feeling the pain, in order to stop suffering. Because the position that you are in right now, you did not reach there overnight. You reached there because of years of mistreating your body. And so to correct that, a part of correcting that is not only taking in some supplements, not only taking in something that is recommended, it is understanding. It is the understanding behind it, so that you for yourself, because I don't want you to shift the responsibility of your health from your doctors to me. That's not what I'm doing. That's not why I'm doing this presentation. I don't want you to shift the responsibility of your health from your physicians to me. I want you to have it in your hands. I want you to be responsible. And for you to be responsible, you need to be informed. Alright, so let's go ahead. So we looked at A, we looked at B, now let's look at C. C means to cleanse. So the C stands for cleanse. Cleansing opens the body's channel of elimination so that waste can be properly eliminated before toxins build up in the tissues and blood. Toxins produce stress and deplete the body's energy system, friends. Proper elimination conserves the body's healing energy making. Toxins produce stress and deplete the body's energy systems. Proper elimination conserves the body's healing energy, making more energy available for healing and repair. One of the reasons why fasting is so powerful is because it is a form of detox. And so when the body is not cleansed, when we continue to clog our bodies with toxins, Not only does it block the channels so that so that we can't absorb nutrients, but it affects us spiritually. That is the reason why fasting is so important, because when you fast, it is a type of detoxing. It is a type of getting toxins out of the body so that the mind can be in tune spiritually. And so the best way to start any health plan is with a cleanse. And that's where, as I said before, after this, I'm going to link what I just shared with you with why it is important to determine when the new year begins scripturally. Remember I told you that? So after dealing with cleanse, I'm going to link everything. So we do not recommend that people who are thin, pale, emaciated, or in a weakened condition begin with a cleanse. Such people should begin by building. We also do not recommend cleansing for women who are pregnant or lactating. For the rest of us, it is a good idea to begin our nutritional program with a cleanse. We then recommend a cleanse twice a year, once in the spring and again in the fall. And this is where Yahweh really spoke to my heart. Yahweh began to show me his new life health plan. You are going to be amazed how Yahweh structured us so that we could be attuned with what he's doing. And so here is the new life detox program. So Yahweh has shown me that in order to maximize new life in spring, we have to begin with a cleansing program. So we have to be synchronized with Yahweh's calendar to maximize new life. We have to be synchronized with Yahweh's calendar to maximize new life in spring. And so it is important for us to understand when Yahweh's new year begins. This cleansing program is literally going to reverse from simple health conditions to life-threatening chronic disease. So what I'm going to share with you, I'm not promising you magic, friends. Not promising you magic, but what I'm sharing with you is based on the technology of health, the principles of health. And so what you are going to be learning, you are going to experience the result. It is literally going to reverse from simple health conditions in your body to life-threatening chronic diseases. This cleansing program is going to effect change emotionally, spiritually, financially, and otherwise. You know, just saying that brings me back to when the Hebrew boys who were brought in by Babylon decided that they would not eat from the king's table for a period of time. And the result was that they were 10 times wiser and healthier than those who ate from the king's table, who was Babylon. And so, my friend, your eating habit affects you in so much way. It affects you emotionally, it affects you spiritually, it affects you financially, because we are hormonal beings. So there are hormones in our bodies, and the food that we eat or the food that we don't eat affects us. So let me share with you the spring detox program. Exodus 12 verse 3 says, "Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th Yom of this month, or in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house." Now, the 10th day of the first month of this month, and you can go back to Exodus 12 verse 1, and you can link it with Deuteronomy 16 verse 1, where in Exodus 12 verse 1 it says, "This month shall be unto you the beginning of months," and then we realize that that month was Abib. And if you read Deuteronomy 16 verse 1, you will see that they were talking about the one and same, the same month, which was the month of the Aviv, when the barley was ripe. So we know for certain that the new year is in spring. However, on the 10th day of the month, they were instructed to take a lamb. The lamb is symbolic of what would be used, the blood from the lamb was to be used to cleanse, to deliver the children of Israel. So from the first day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the 10th day is when they would select their lamb that would be used for purifying and cleansing them. And so something happened very special from the first day to the 10th day. Now, let me be clear in saying, because I'm not going to try to use the scripture to say that Yahweh, what I'm doing here is scriptural. But what I'm doing, what I believe, that what I'm sharing with you is designed to bring us, to bring you into alignment. All right, so the 10th day was when the lamb was selected, and it is for that reason why we have looked at a 10-day detox program. So our detox, our cleansing program, is going to last for 10 days. It will begin the first day of the first month and will continue up until the 10th day of the first month when the lamb would have been selected. And so we start our detox program on the first day of the 10th of the first day of the first month, in honor of identifying the new year. So we are going to start the new year with a cleanse. We are going to prepare our bodies for what is going to happen in the coming year. Are you with me? So it's a 10-day detox program. The fall detox program, Leviticus 23 verse 26, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, also in the 10th day of this month there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and you shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. Now, remember I said that the detox program, most detox programs are recommended in spring and in fall. So the spring detox program is from the first day of the first month, and it ends on the 10th day of the first month when the lamb is selected. The fall detox program begins on the first day of the 7th month and will continue up until the 10th day of the 7th month, which is when Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement, which is a feast of a day of fasting, begins. And so you would have a better understanding if you were to go through our complete spring feast and fall feast teaching presentation. In those two teaching presentations, I deal with each memorial in detail, and so you will better have an understanding, the spiritual implication. I'm dealing in this teaching presentation with the health benefits, but if you want an overall understanding, I would truly recommend that you get a full copy of our Yahweh's calendar series that deals with the spring feast and the fall feast. And because you need to understand that new life has physical and spiritual implication. So there are some of you that are listening that may be atheists. I'm going to tell you straight up, you cannot experience new life just by the physical benefits. Some of you may be new agers. Some of you may be naturalists, and you don't believe in a creator. I'm going to tell you straight up that there is no concept of a complete or a maximized new life without the spiritual benefits as well. So you need to understand the spiritual and the physical to have that overall understanding of new life, the new life plan that Yahweh has set in place for us to benefit from. And so the D stands for direct aid. Remember I said that's A, B, C, and D. The D stands for direct aid. This is where we get specific. Most of us have one or more body systems that are weaker than the others and could benefit from direct nutritional support. For example, if you suffer from stress or insomnia, your nervous system may be in greatest need of direct aid. If you have high blood pressure or circulation problems, your circulatory system may need the most help. And so remember I said that the ABC, activate, build, cleanse, and direct aid. Now there are a number of systems in your body, and so when after going through the A, the B, the C, The D approach is that we approach the weakest system in your body and begin to focus on it. And what we do is we supply direct aid through nutritional supplement to strengthen that weak system. And once you strengthen it, as we say, the foundational principle that we are operating here is that the body heals itself. We are not treating symptoms. We are dealing with the root cause. You know, let me give you an example. If you go to a doctor, if a doctor would come into your kitchen and they see your kitchen being filthy, and I'm borrowing this here from this analogy from Paul Nyson, and believe me, Paul Nyson has some powerful principles. He has he's a natural food specialist, a raw food specialist, sorry, and there is so much that you can learn from him. And when I heard him give this analogy, it was just so powerful. He spoke about the fact that if a doctor were to come into your kitchen, if he were to see, and your kitchen was real messy, in a real mess, with dirty pots and pans and plates all over, and that resulted in the place being infested with flies and all manner of crawling insects, the doctor's approach would be quick. Get an insecticide so that we can kill these insects and your problem is solved. No. Does killing the insect solve the problem? No. We solve the problem by cleaning up the kitchen. And so that's what direct aid does. We are not focused on the symptoms. We are focused on the cause of the symptoms. And I'm going to share with you why even some of these symptoms are so beneficial. I'm going to show you why. And there is no new life plan that is separate from the mind. Detoxing the mind is of utmost importance. And in the detox program that we have developed, that I'm sharing with you, there's a journal that we have developed that we give to our participants that allows them to deal with the matters of the mind and helps them to overcome the matters of the mind. There is a reason why there were 10 plagues, my friend. The 10 plagues that affected Egypt that the Israelites saw was Yahweh's way of dealing with their psychological perception of Israel's strength and might. Israel's strength and might was based on the fact that their gods or their pagan deities were powerful. Yahweh could not deliver Israel until he destroyed that mentality. I mean, Israel's might as a nation was known far and wide. And to link that with the might of the gods that they served really had a devastating effect on Israel. And so it is for that reason why each plague was designed to mock a particular god. So for example, Yahweh turned the Nile into blood. Yahweh was openly mocking and showing that the Nile had no power, that he, Yahweh, had control over all creation. So Yahweh was strategically destroying Israel's mental perception of the reason why Israel was powerful. He was dealing with the psychological effects. And so healing our new life has to have a component that deals with the mental state of the mind, or the state of the mind mentally. So there has to be a program that detoxes the mind as well. It has been noted that 87 to 95% of the illnesses that plague us today are a direct result of our thought life. That we think about that what we think about affects us physically and emotionally. It's an epidemic of toxic emotions. The average person, friend, has over 30,000 thoughts a day through an uncontrolled thought life. We create the conditions for illness. We make ourselves sick. Research shows that fear, all on its own, triggers more than 1,400 known physical and chemical responses and activates more than 30 different hormones. Friends, there are intellectual and medical reasons to forgive. Toxic waste generated by toxic thoughts cause the following illnesses: diabetes, cancer, asthma, skin problems, and allergies, just to name a few. Consciously control your thought life and start to detox your brain. Now, one of the greatest things that you can do to affect your thought life is to watch, or not to watch, but to be careful of an instrument in your home called TV or television. Friends, there is a reason why what you spend time focusing on the TV is called television programming. That programming is not talking about what is being showed on the TV. It is talking about the effects that the feature have on your mind. When you sit before that television, you are ingesting thoughts. You are ingesting, or you are receiving signal in your minds that help to control your thought patterns. There is a reason why a company will spend millions of dollars for a 5 or 10-second commercial. It is because they know it is going to affect the person that is watching it. And so one of the things that we have to do in being responsible, or in taking charge, or being responsible as it relates to our health, is by controlling our thought life. So one of the most important things that you need to do is to control your thought life. Persons spend hundreds of hours sitting before television and eating their way into the grave. And so one of the things that you need to do in order to be responsible as it relates to your health is monitoring that device that is called a TV, as well as monitoring the time that your children spend over it. So I'm not saying that you have to throw it out, but you must monitor what goes into your subconscious, what goes into your mind. Out of the abundance of the heart does the mouth speak, and the eyes are windows to the soul. Now, medical research increasingly points to the fact that thinking and consciously controlling your thought life is one of the best ways, if not the best way, of detoxing your brain. It allows you to get rid of those toxic thoughts and emotions that consume and control your mind. Change in your thinking is essential to detoxing the brain. Consciously controlling your thought life means not letting thoughts rampage through your mind. It means learning to engage interactively with every single thought that you have and to analyze it before you decide either to accept or reject it. And friends, apart from the television, the friends that you keep, the scripture says, be not fooled. Evil company corrupts good morals. And so sitting around persons who speak toxic thoughts, and some of us, and even some parents project their toxic thoughts onto their children. But I want to share with you, I'm giving you this information because I want to empower you. And so throughout our 10-day detox program, we have an aggressive program that is designed to detoxing the mind. If you've been fondled, if you've been molested, if you've been rejected, if you've been hurt, if you are harboring unforgiveness, my friend, it is going to affect your health. That is the reason why I want as many persons as is possible to understand Yahweh's new life plan and for them to employ it in their life. Philippians 4 verse 8 says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Philippians 4 is telling us how we can control our thought patterns, how we can take control or take responsibility of our thought lives. These thoughts produce healthy hormones. These thoughts produce hormones in the body that produce life. And as I said, and I can't overemphasize it, that as a prerequisite to understanding fully this two-part teaching presentation, you need to get a 3-part teaching presentation that we do that is entitled the Torah Foundation series. I cannot overemphasize it enough. 1 Corinthians 5 verse 7 says, "Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, as you are unleavened." For a Mashiach or Passover was offered for us. And so it is important for us to understand that. And I can't tell you how important that is. Now, I want you to bear that in mind. Verse 8, "Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth." So, the scripture says that in keeping the Passover, it is not only the physical leaven that we need to get rid of, but we need to get rid of the psychological leaven as well. And it is because there is no concept of new life without dealing with the psychological toxics that are present in our bodies as well. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 27 says, "Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the master unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the master. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the master's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep." The word sleep here means are dead. So not understanding the full effects of the preparation that is needed to experience the spiritual portion of the new life plan results in so many persons dying physically. It means that when persons come into the new life plan with toxic thoughts, with toxic mentality, it can even result in them dying, because it means that they did not understand the prerequisite, what was needed prior to them partaking in the Passover. And so it meant that they were not ready, and the result can be sickness and death. And that is why I'm sharing with you this new life plan, this detox program, because there is no better way to go into the Pesach but by understanding that the body needs detoxing, both mentally and physically, and then following that detox program. It shows that one is truly discerning the importance of this Pesach, of this spiritual cleansing, so much so that they have made preparation to be leaven free, both physically and spiritually. And so that is the reason why this detox program is just so awesome. So one has to examine yourself. I want you to examine yourself. How many could have, would have, should have statements have you made today or this year? How many if onlys were part of your inner vocabulary today? How many times have you replayed in your head a conversation or a situation that pained you, or one that hasn't even occurred yet? How many scenarios have you created of the unpredictable future? How much is speculation taking out of your day? How passive is your mind? How honest are you with yourself? How are you at cross purposes with yourself, going through the motions but not really committed to the goal, saying one thing but meaning another? How distorted is your thinking? Are you forming a personal identity around how this started is your thinking. Are you forming a personal identity around, for example, a disease? Do you speak about my arthritis, my multiple sclerosis, my heart problem? Do you ever make comments like, nothing ever goes right for me, everything I touch fails, I always mess up? If you answered yes, even to just one of these, your thought life needs detoxing right now. And so friends, that is the reason why I want to introduce you to this new life plan. For the physical plan, I want to introduce you to a powerful agent, and it is the 4Life 10-day gastrointestinal cleanse. And so this is what it is. It is called Fiber System Plus. And this Fiber System Plus is packed with 27 herbal extracts to provide thorough and comfortable intestinal cleansing and purification. It provides an excellent gastrointestinal cleanse to start any nutritional regimen. It contains key ingredients such as cascara, frangula, prunes, pineapple, papain, and bromelain. What you need to do is to call us to register for our health retreat, as well as how to get the product. And I will also give you a free journal complete with the Torah portion for the 10 days that will deal with the spiritual toxin as well as the psychological toxins, or the mental toxins that you have. This health retreat is going to be so awesome. So you need to call, you need to email us and book your date as soon as possible, and as well as get your Fiber Plus system, because it is in a very limited amount. And so my friend, disease is our body's way and the Creator's permissible way of saying something is wrong. The Creator's perfect way is His word. This is Yahweh's way of saying, if you cannot hear, then you will feel. And so, as I said before, that there are things that the body says to us. Pain, disease is a way that the body communicates to us, and we have to be able to interpret what the body is saying. And so diseases is our body's way, and the Creator's permissible, not His perfect, but His permissible way of saying something is wrong. And friends, we don't have to wait for Him to speak to us through His permissible will, because the Creator's perfect way is His word. Yahweh is about prevention, not cure. And this is Yahweh's way of saying, if you cannot hear, you will feel. So those persons who believe that the scripture is not relevant, not important, they are going to reap the effect physically. Get ready to join nature. Get ready to join us and the universe for new life. And you can go to my website and order the program at www.7641927.4life.com. So you can go to my website, or you can go to our Torah for Life TV website, and you can contact us, and you will get the dates for the health retreat. You can learn more about the product, and for the health retreat, I'm trying to pull out all the stops to bring in some specialists whose information, wealth of information, you are going to benefit for years to come. I want to thank you for tuning into this very special teaching presentation series. I hope that you were blessed as usual. I hope that you were informed. Please write me, call me, email me, and tell me how this teaching presentation is impacting your life. And please go to our Facebook page, go to our YouTube page, and subscribe so that you can get the latest videos as they come out. And share our links, our social links with your friends. Like us on Facebook. Help to get the message out. Because friends, this is a wellness revolution. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in. And until next time, this is Marlon Herlock saying to you and yours, Shabbat Shalom.